A warm welcome to today's session. We will give it another 30 seconds to give more people the chance to join, and then we will start, so please stay tuned. So, hello everyone, and a warm welcome to our webinar, SAP Mobile Start, where you will learn about the latest iOS release and the first Android version and ways to make your life easier. I am Tanya from the Global User Groups organization and your host for today. Before I introduce our experts, I would like to ask you to share any questions you have in the chat. We will answer them once the presentation is over. And now I have the pleasure of introducing our experts, Robert Wassermann from the Product Management for SAP Mobile Experience and Engineering, and Jean-Christophe Nury, also from the Product Management for SAP Mobile Experience and Engineering. And now, Robert, over to you.
Thank you, Tanya. And thank you so much for joining, and a warm welcome to our session on SAP Mobile Experience and SAP Mobile Start Release Update. First of all, we are planning to share with you some forward-looking statements, roadmap information. So as always, please be aware that you shouldn't base any buying decisions based on this information. And also, please recognize that this information can be subject to change. Our today's agenda looks as follows. We would like to start with a brief introduction into our mobile experience vision and strategy, followed by an introduction of SAP Mobile Start, which is a refresher for people that are just joining with this session. And then we'll look into what are the features that we delivered with our latest release, which we brought to the market June 2nd this year. Afterwards, we will provide you with a demo of the actual applications, the iOS and also the Android application. And then we'll also dive into the overall architecture, the availability of the application, and a lot more information for you. We'll close with a Q&A session at the end. So let me start with SAP Mobile Experience. Our unit, SAP Mobile Experience and Engineering, went live and started operations beginning of 2021. Our mission is to define and drive the mobile vision and strategy for the Intelligent Enterprise Suite. And our most important objective for 2022 and beyond is to deliver a suite of native mobile applications that delight the end users in terms of usability, user experience, but also deliver a significant benefit to the end user, allowing them to drive their day-to-day activities using mobile devices. So, briefly looking at our unit, Mobile Experience and Engineering, as you can see with the drawing on the right-hand side, the end user is really at the center of everything that we are doing and that we are concerned about. We would really like to understand what the pain points of the end users are, what their requirements are in terms of functional requirements, how they want to interact with the devices, with the applications, but also what kind of technologies they would like to use today and also looking into the future, what innovations would deliver a significant benefit to their day-to-day activities. We want to share use cases that we are interested in, that we think are relevant for our customer base, but also learn from our customers and the end users what additional use cases they see and think we should turn our attention to. In order to do so, we have set up multiple customer engagement initiatives inside Mobile Experience and Engineering. SAP Mobile Start obviously also has set up and kicked off a customer engagement initiative. And we also have in-depth co-innovation activities with selected customers and partners in order to share information at a very early stage and also receive feedback at a very early stage, so that then can follow and flow into the process of designing and developing our mobile applications. We have development teams which are based around the globe, starting in North America, in Chicago. In Europe, we have development teams in Waldorf, Munich, Potsdam, and also in Budapest, Hungary, and also in India and Bangalore. All these colleagues are tirelessly working to deliver the best possible mobile experience and applications to our customers and the end user. With this slide, I wanted to share with you some of the applications we already brought to the market, an application we currently invest into, and also use cases that we currently evaluate. The golden and or orange circles are the applications which we already delivered to the market. Here we have our lighthouse application, the SAP Service and Asset Manager, obviously. We also newly brought to the market applications like SAP Direct Distribution or the SAP Warehouse Operator. What can be clearly seen here is that we're not looking at one LOB or one industry. We really evaluate the use cases end to end in order to deliver the most important beneficial use cases and applications to the market. The blue one is the SAP Ariba shopping application for the casual buyer. And we're planning to deliver the first version of the application to the market still in 2022. As I mentioned, the other white circles are use cases we currently evaluate with colleagues internally, but also customers and partners to learn from everyone what their pain points, requirements are in order to develop the use case and define the product that we eventually plan to bring to market. So here's an invitation to all of you. If you're interested in defining our mobile roadmap for the future, please feel free to reach out to you. We are more than happy to interact with you, setting up one-to-one sessions to get to know each other and learn from each other what your specific requirements are and what these use cases are all about that you can already see here on this slide. I didn't mention one application which is listed here as an application which we already brought to the market, and that is on the upper left-hand side, SAP Mobile Start, which we will look at moving further now. SAP Mobile Start is an application which we brought to the market end of August last year. It is the native entry point into the Intelligent Enterprise Suite, which means that our plan is and mission to deliver all the business processes, data, and additional information the end user needs in one application to drive their day-to-day activities using mobile devices. So our slogan is SAP brings the intelligent enterprise to the fingertips of every SAP user. Also here, what's really important is every SAP user. Our vision is that each and every user of our customers that has mobile requirements will use SAP Mobile Start in the future to start the applications or look into other content like notifications and so on using SAP Mobile Start. The main capabilities and value proposition are we integrate into SAP S/4HANA Cloud and on-premise. So we pull all the business processes and data from the back-end system in order to make it available through SAP Mobile Start. The end user has one single application where they find basically everything that they need day in and day out. But it doesn't stop with the applications like web applications or native applications which integrate into the backends I just mentioned. We also added native notifications. As you can see on the upper right-hand side of the screenshot here, the bell icon indicates that there are notifications there coming from the various backends that where the end user should pay attention to looking into those notifications. We also have approval workflows in form of the to-dos, which we bring to SAP Mobile Start and the end user via the SAP Task Center service. So these are additional benefits where the end user clearly benefits from using SAP Mobile Start. On top of that, we also can deliver URLs, so web content, or news information news services, which can also be started either by a widget from the home screen or directly from the application itself. We also introduced Fiori Horizon at a very early stage of SAP Mobile Start. So we bring a fresh, delightful user experience to the end user, and the feedback we are receiving from our current customers that are using SAP Mobile Start productively is phenomenal. They really love the application and they see the big business benefit the application delivers to them. There are certain key capabilities that we deliver with SAP Mobile Start. One is that it's a native application and delivers a native entry point into the Intelligent Enterprise Suite. That means that we can also make full use of the device and operating system benefits and capabilities. And some of the examples are that for iOS, we have the Spotlight search that customers and end users can use in order, for example, to search for web or native applications and start those directly from the search results screen. Or the widgets, which I already mentioned on the previous slide. With SAP Mobile Start, we deliver enterprise widgets to the end user, so they can determine which kind of widgets they would like to see on their home screens and get the information directly by looking at it, and can start the underlying application by clicking on that respective widget tile. What's also very important is that SAP Mobile Start and the underlying SAP Launchpad service, which builds the technical foundation for SAP Mobile Start, allows the customer to configure the content to meet the requirements of the end user group or persona. As we know, the certain end users or personas simply have different requirements. Someone working in finance has different requirements in terms of applications they want to access or content they want to look into and use on a daily basis from someone that works in sales or in the warehouse. And it's really critical that the customer can serve based on the requirements of the persona or end user. And this is what the SAP Launchpad service and SAP Mobile Start enable. The Task Center service, I already mentioned this, is another application, a service that resides on the Business Technology Platform and that we use in order to bring the to-dos, the approval workflows to SAP Mobile Start. We already delivered this functionality with the SAP Mobile Start version 1.2. And as you can see on the left-hand side, there are different backend applications, SAP backend applications that the Task Center service already integrates into. But the Task Center service also enables the customer to integrate into third-party backends and pull the approval workflows from there. The beauty is that with the Task Center service, the end user has a desktop application where they can see all the incoming approval workflows and obviously can take actions. And with SAP Mobile Start, they have the same information on their mobile device and can carry it with them wherever they go and work. So I hope that this already delivered a very good refresh on what SAP Mobile Start is all about. And I would like to hand over to Jean-Christophe.
Thank you, Robert. I think it was a great overview of the Mobile Start capabilities. I mean, for the people who join us today, or for as well the people who join our previous webinar, it's like a good refresher. What I would like to share with you today is the latest updates on SAP Mobile Start. So Robert already quickly mentioned that we had in June our latest release for SAP Mobile Start. Means we have deployed and we have made available SAP Mobile Start for iOS version 1.3 and as well the brand new Android version, which was the I would say very expected by our customers. So we are very delighted to have this. So in this section, I will provide you with a short overview, what's new during this release, and I will as well show you some screenshots and show you how it looks like with the latest version. So mentioned it already, so Android is now available, which is a very good step forward. But even on the iOS version, we have new improvement. For example, we have a big improvement in the notification center, where we have now a centralized page to show you all the information, all the notification on the mobile application. One very important evolution and new change is the adoption of the Horizon theme. So you will see it will, we believe it's much more usable for you, and we are improving the user experience by deploying this Horizon theming. And it will be for you much easier to navigate through the application. And it's a great improvement that our design team and our engineering team has worked on. Something that was as well very, I would say, asked by our customers. So it's the mobile device management. So we'll come back to that and explain you how it can simplify the way you are now configuring and benefiting from SAP Mobile Start, how you can have this within your company. Last but not least, there is as well some improvement on the to-dos. So the to-do screen and as well the to-dos are now available on the start screen. The to-dos are the implementation of the SAP Task Center, and that's the name how we call it on SAP Mobile Start. So if we go now through iOS and the iOS version. So here's the latest look and feel of the mobile application. So for iOS, means on your iPhone device or as well on your iPad tablet, this is the latest version of Mobile Start. So as Robert already points out, this is the native entry point to the Intelligent Enterprise Suite. Means you can find all your information, your application, all the tasks that you need to work on. Concretely, as for the previous version, you obviously can navigate through the application with all the tabs, like the Start tabs, your application tabs, and as well your to-do tabs. What's new in this new version is the notification center that you can see here on the top left, top right, sorry, corner of the application, with a small bell icon where you can directly access to all your notification. Another new functionality is the fact that we have here all the new to-dos on the start screen. Means when you enter the application, you can directly work on your latest workflow approvals that you need to work on directly from the start screen without having to go to the to-do screen to approve them. Obviously, if you have a lot of items to work on, you can always go back to the to-do screen to find all the items you need to work on. And obviously as well, we have all this new design, the horizon framing I was talking about, which is much more convenient and usable for you to use. Just a glimpse into the notification center. So this is a screenshot taken from the iPhone of the SAP Mobile Start. As you can see, you can directly have access to all your notification with a small, a very short swiping to the left or to the right, sorry. You can access a notification, dismiss it, for example. You can as well benefit from all the indicator, for example, if it's something urgent, if it's very important, or if you have some Android notification, it is very easily you can identify them very easily. And obviously, you can always work on them by clicking on the notification and being able to work all your items. Let's jump quickly into Android. So as we mentioned, so we are very happy to have this Android version now available on the Google Play Store. The Android version is almost provides almost the same features as the iOS version. So stay tuned. We are planning to have a new release to ensure that we have the feature parity for both iOS and Android. It means the same features on both platforms. So stay tuned in the coming weeks for any announcement. On the Android, you find the same features and capabilities to access all your application, all your to-dos. You also have, as for iOS, the notification center available, and obviously all your application and to-dos on a very similar way. What maybe, as we say, dedicated to Android is all the widget and notification. It means the same way we have done it for iOS, using all the native capabilities of iOS, we have done the same work to ensure that you can, as a user, benefit from the Android widgets and the notifications in your system. So the widgets are the same as you might know from, for example, from your consumer applications, but those are the widget for your SAP applications. So it could be, for example, some news feeds. It could be as well some KPI that you can directly find directly on the home screen of your phone. So very easy to follow up on any item. And obviously, notification allows you to stay updated on every new change, every new update that is coming to your business. Last but not least, we wanted to cover as well the mobile device management. So this is available for both Android and iOS platforms. It provides you a very easy way for your company and for the user in your company to onboard it to Mobile Start. Up to now, you had the option to onboard Mobile Start by using the QR code that you can find on the SAP Launchpad Service platform. Now you have another option, an additional option that your IT team can set up and can work on to ensure that all the colleagues in your company have access to SAP Mobile Start by pushing the application and by preparing the configuration thanks to mobile device management. Means as a user, when the MDM option is being worked on and when it's available, you will just have the mobile start application, click on Start, as you can see here on the screenshot, and benefit directly from all your application, your system, and have the full access to the intelligent enterprise directly by clicking on Start. And now I would like to hand over to Robert, who will show us a demo about SAP Mobile Start.
Perfect. Jean-Christophe, thank you so much. Yeah, let me just directly jump to my iPhone. This is my home screen, and as we discussed now, we have, or I have in this case, put 2 widgets on my home screen, and obviously by clicking on it, I could remove one of them or add something to it, another one. During this presentation, I would like to focus on the updates that we shipped with iOS version 1.3. So I will directly move into SAP Mobile Start. So as you have seen, we have 3 main screens. That's something you see on the bottom of the screen, the Start screen, the Application screen, and the To-Do screen. On the Start screen, you see all the information that is waiting for the end user once they start SAP Mobile Start. As we've just seen on the screenshots, on the upper right-hand side, you have the new notification center. On the left-hand side, you have the indication for new notifications, and on the right-hand side, the ones are marked that are of urgency that you should directly pay attention to. With the left swipe, as you can see here, you can either open it in a browser or dismiss the notification. And you obviously can achieve the same by clicking on the notification itself. But here you theoretically could get more comprehensive description of the information the notification shares with you. Jumping back to the Start screen, and again, this is new. We moved the latest, the newest to-dos, so the approval workflows here to the Start screen. And the end user now has 2 options how to work with those to-dos. The first one would be obviously to click on the tile, open the to-do, and see all the relevant information that this to-do, this approval workflow shares with them. Yeah, so who is the requester? What's the context? In cases you see an audit trail, you can open the audit trail and get further information on what has been completed so far. And then in the end user can approve, reject, and in some cases also comment on that approval request. The other way how to work with the to-do is if the end user knows the full context of this request, they can also click on the 3 dots and get a quick function option to directly approve or reject or choose another function should that be available here from the overview. Then, as in previous versions of SAP Mobile Start, you have the monitoring apps, the current suggestions, which I also find really nice because this is where the application learns from my personal behavior and usage of the application. And the applications that I use most are being shown here first in line on the left-hand side, which optimize the workflow for the end user. And then should any news feeds and services be available, those would also be shown here. Then on the application screen, the applications which have been configured for me as a user, as a persona, appear here. I can directly jump into the respective applications from here, and like the News Center, for example, which is a URL, which is a nice example for how URLs can be made available through SAP Mobile Start as well. I can read, in this case, through the information and then move back to SAP Mobile Start where I left it off from. And then on the to-do screen, there's also one new feature, or actually we adopted here the Fiori Horizon design language. The filters have changed that you can see on the top of the screen. Those were previously implemented a little bit differently. What's great is that these filters look at the respective approval types. So, for example, if I only want to see the timesheet request, I can click on that and only the timesheet requests now are being displayed. And if I want to go back and see all the to-dos, then obviously I just click on it again and then the filter is removed and all to-dos are visible again. So that was a quick overview of the features. Now let me also introduce the MDM capability that Jean-Christophe was already talking about. I'm currently signed in as a test user here. And if I leave the demo, I directly guided to the screen that Jean-Christophe was just showing to you. And this is now really how we use SAP Mobile Start also internally in SAP. So by clicking on the Start button, the profile, my user profile now is being pulled here live. I then have to approve some paperwork, so end user license agreement and data privacy. And then I'm being presented with my personal applications that I am using on a day-to-day basis. So this is how the integration of mobile device management works. The application is distributed automatically to the end user. The end user just clicks on the Start button and the configuration settings are pulled, and I am now able to work with the applications. So that was the iOS demo. Let me also briefly switch to my Android phone. Just wanted to share that with you as well. So this is now the Android version. Briefly, as you know, if you're an Android user, you just click on the icon and then you can choose the widgets quick menu. Here I can choose from the respective widgets which are available, either the business info widget or the news list widget. I'm now selecting that business widget. I can place it anywhere on the screen where I like, drop it, and then I am presented with a selection of options which I can now select from what kind of information in that business widget I would like to see. Either my customer projects, my inbox, or my timesheet. I'm now selecting the customer projects, I save it, and then the tile is added to my home screen. Briefly starting SAP Mobile Start, as Jean-Christophe already mentioned, there are currently two main features which we weren't able to deliver with the first version of SAP Mobile Start for Android. The first one is that here on the start screen, the new to-do section is not available yet. And if I go to the notifications, the left swipe with the quick functions is currently also not enabled. So we are planning to deliver these two features and thereby achieve feature parity between the Android and the iOS version with an intermediate update, which we're planning to deliver to our customers still in July or beginning of August. Currently, the plan is to still deliver it in July. So watch out for that. And from then on, obviously, we will be providing the features, the same features to both platforms. So this is again how it looks like on the Android version. Other than that, it's really the same. You have the same screens, the application screen, the to-do screen with the respective filter options as I mentioned earlier. So that brings me back to the presentation. Let's jump to the architecture. And this is just a high-level view of it. SAP Mobile Start obviously runs on the mobile device of your choice, either Android or iOS. We are using 4 services on the Business Technology Platform, 3 mandatory and 1 is optional. The SAP Launchpad service, as I mentioned earlier on, provides the technical foundation. Here it is where all the configuration settings take place. Also here, the end user benefits from the fact that the Launchpad service runs on the desktop. So whenever they are using their desktop device, they see the same configuration settings, which are again configured for them in the Launchpad service. And when they're on the go, they can use SAP Mobile Start and see the applications and content we just discussed within SAP Mobile Start. We then also use the notification service, which pulls the notifications from the backends, SAP S for HANA and others. SAP Mobile Services delivers the end-to-end coordination and integration, for example, via OData services. It integrates into the backends. The Task Center service is an optional service for all of our customers that are already using the SAP Task Center service. It's also a relatively new application which was launched to the market in Q4 last year. This is where the approval workflows, the to-dos, which we've just seen, are delivered to SAP Mobile Start. We then integrate into SAP S/4HANA Cloud for on-premise and into the native applications of the LOB offerings like SuccessFactors, Concur, Ariba, Fieldglass, and others. Availability. The application itself is free of charge. As Jean-Christophe already mentioned, feel free to look up SAP Mobile Start on the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, and just install it on your mobile device. It's, again, free of charge. There's a built-in demo mode that allows you to try it out the same way I just presented it to you. However, if customers would like to use it productively, there are 2 options that we are offering. Since the SAP Launchpad service is the technical foundation, we managed to integrate SAP Mobile Start into the SAP Launchpad service. So all the customers that are subscribed to the SAP Launchpad service, either directly via the SKU or material number, or using CPEA credits, Cloud Platform Enterprise Agreement credits, they can not only use the SAP Launchpad service, but also SAP Mobile Start. For all RISE with SAP S/4HANA Cloud customers that are using one of these 3 material numbers that you can see on the left-hand side, we integrated the Launchpad service and together with the Launchpad service, SAP Mobile Start into their RISE subscription. So there are no additional charges to the customers, again, which are subscribed to one of these 3 material numbers, RISE with SAP S/4HANA Cloud. The great thing about the Task Center service is that the Task Center service is a kernel service, which means that it's also available as part of a Cloud LOB subscription. So for RISE with SAP S/4HANA Cloud customers, that would mean that for this application, the usage of the Task Center service is also included in the RISE subscription. And again, the same applies for all the other SAP Cloud LOB solutions. Moving to our SAP Mobile Start roadmap. The Q2 column you see on the left-hand side is the current application we have on the market, as we now discussed, the iOS and the Android version. For Q3, we are planning to deliver, obviously, the feature parity. As I mentioned, we are planning to deliver this with an intermediate release, which either will be made available in July or in August. Additional features for the planned September, end of September release are the advanced dynamic tiles. With those, we want to enrich the information which is visible via these tiles. So additional content, but also from a design perspective, for example, color codings are planned to be made available. Those could be, for example, indicators that something positive or negative just happened. So for the monitoring tiles, this could be an indication in green or red arrows, something in that area, which we plan to deliver with these advanced dynamic tiles. Then we plan to enable the situations handling for SAP S/4HANA and also enable end users to deliver feedback from within the application, so that they immediately, once they find something that they would like to share with us, they can directly start that feedback functionality and provide their feedback to us. Then for Q2, thought after functionality is the customer branding inside the application. So this could be company logos, color codings. These are topics that we are planning for Q4. And then from Q1 on, so next year, we plan to provide more business information with native cards. Those will be provided then via SAP S/4HANA and will be made available via the SAP Launchpad service, also in SAP Mobile Start. We also plan to support the Spaces and Pages concept from SAP S/4HANA, and then also deliver app personalization features, which then would allow the end user to adjust, for example, the language in which SAP Mobile Start is presented directly from within the application. There's a link to the actual roadmap here in the Roadmap Explorer, so please feel free to use that and follow the latest changes to our SAP Mobile Start roadmap. Our colleagues from SAP Consulting also put together real nice consulting offerings. So one of them really looks at the UX and mobile transformation. So this is one level up above SAP Mobile Start, where obviously we would like to also looking at mobile experience. The strategy I was sharing at the beginning of this session would like to help our customers driving their mobile transformation roadmap. And there are a lot of offerings that the colleagues would like to discuss with our customers in order to enable that. Looking at SAP Launchpad Service and SAP Mobile Start, also here there are packages available depending where the customer is in terms of their Launchpad Service and Mobile Start roadmap. That starts with a small starter package and moves on to a full end-to-end implementation of the Launchpad service and all the other services which are involved, including the integration into the respective backends. As you can see, we're not talking about very time-consuming projects here. The early adopter projects show that the integration of the Launchpad service implementation, also of SAP Mobile Start, really is something that can be handled within the time frame like 6 weeks onwards. So that's something that adds to the benefit of the offering from our perspective. Last but not least, we also have an advisory service available, which supports customers or partners that would like to implement the end-to-end stack specifically, obviously, also looking at SAP Launchpad service and SAP Mobile Start. In case you are interested, finding out more about the consulting offerings, there is a link here on the lower left-hand side where you can directly reach out to the colleagues, but please also feel free to reach out to Jean-Christophe or myself. We're more than happy to connect you to the right colleagues here. With that, I would like to hand over to Jean-Christophe again.
Thank you, Robert. That was a lot of information. And what I would like to add now is additional, I would say, source of information and how you can get to know more if you are interested as well to have some more contacts with us. First of all, we do have an SAP community page. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with the community pages where you can, first of all, connect with all the mobile experts, where you can find a lot of information about Mobile Start, about the mobile experience Robert introduced you to, and all the, for example, related blogs. We do have a lot of very, very complete blogs about, for example, the persona usage. So how can you benefit as a finance manager, as a project manager, and so on? How can you benefit from SAP Mobile Start? And we do have as well some technical blogs who can provide you with many information about the technicalities of SAP Mobile Start. So feel free to use this page and to as well follow the page to get the latest updates there. Something very important as well is our SAP Customer Engagement Initiative. So, Robert as well mentioned that at the beginning of the presentation, that the user is at the center of all the work that we are doing. Means we are definitely looking to understand, so how you are using Mobile Start, what is for you the most important features to be developed on. So that's why we have this Customer Engagement Initiative, where we provide some regular updates about the work we are doing and the roadmaps we are working on. And we do have as well some specific sessions, feedback sessions about the next features that we are working on. And as well, if, for example, your time is limited, we have as well some kind of surveys that you can answer to, and it's very, very useful to us, because in a few minutes you can share with us what's the most important for you for the next developments. So if you are interested in this customer engagement initiative, so please let us know. We are happy to onboard you on it, either to Robert or to myself, and just connect to us, and we will join you to the group, to this customer engagement initiative. Last but not least, we have done a lot of work to ensure that we have information and we have materials available for you. So we do have, for example, some further videos on YouTube about the intelligent enterprise and about Mobile Start. We do have as well some ebooks to introduce you Mobile Start, all the key capabilities, all the personas that are available for SAP Mobile Start. And we do have a lot of links, like the roadmap that Robert showed as well already. So feel free to use it. And as already mentioned, definitely please reach out to us. Let us know if you have any question or any feedback. So here is just to finish this presentation. Or invitation, please download the application, so you can find it on the App Store, on the Google Play Store. So here are as well the QR code that you can scan to directly download the applications. Feel free to use the demo mode as well that is embedded in the application, and to use the application as well to discover it. So we will be happy for that. And with that, I will hand over to Tanya, because I understand that there are some questions, Tanya, and Tanya will guide us to the questions.
Absolutely. And Robert and Jean-Christophe, thank you so much for your excellent presentation. Yes, we do have a couple of questions, and I will start with the first one. Many customers have mobile applications that are not published on the App Store or Play Store. Can these apps be added to Mobile Start?
Yeah, maybe I can take this one. And yes, that's obviously possible. Specifically looking at the MDM feature, which we probably presented after that question was posted. This is absolutely possible. The customer can distribute the application to the end user and also integrate it into SAP Mobile Start. Maybe already looking at the follow-up question which was posted, and both are very excellent questions. Not only third-party native applications or custom-designed native applications can be integrated into SAP Mobile Start and made available through SAP Mobile Start, but also web applications. So if the customer has a custom build, for example, Fiori UI 5 app that they would like to use and make available to their end users, that's absolutely possible. They just configure it via the SAP Launchpad service, and thereby it's also then available in SAP Mobile Start. Obviously, the native applications also have to be configured in the Launchpad service. They are not available on the desktop then, obviously, but they then can be launched on the mobile device of choice.
Great, thank you. Now, and an application developed in AppGyver, can that be integrated in SAP Mobile Start as well?
Yeah, it's also obviously considered a custom-built application. And from that perspective, yes, absolutely. This is also an application that can be integrated. And as I mentioned, this is also true for third-party applications. Let me give you an example. We have a customer that has two strategic partners. One is SAP, the other one is Microsoft. For them, it was important that Microsoft Outlook and Teams can be provided through SAP Mobile Start and started from there. And that's obviously also possible. So yes, AppGyver developed apps can also be integrated in SAP Mobile Start.
Perfect, thank you. And then Rakesh would like to know or would like to have more insights on MDM, how it works, and where he could find more information on this.
As Jean-Christophe just mentioned, there are very detailed blogs on the community page, SAP Mobile Start community page available. And one of them also relates to the MDM capability, which we introduced with our latest version. And if there are additional questions above and beyond the content that is already delivered there, please feel free to contact us. We are more than happy to set up a follow-up deep dive with the experts that then can answer the questions.
Perfect. I think this was our last question. And what I would do now is I will provide the link to where you can find the presentation of today. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then we have how could WGA applications or web GUI applications customer standard be integrated inside Mobile Start application?
Yes, absolutely. This is, as I mentioned, possible. Any web applications or native applications that are custom built can also be integrated into SAP Mobile Start. Tanya, there was also another question on can partners develop custom widgets? This is also a very interesting question. So it would be great if the person that was asking that question could contact us. I would be very, very interested in having a follow-up discussion on this topic. We discussed it internally beforehand. At this point of time, that is something that we do not ship with SAP Mobile Start, but I would really love to look into that use case and the requirements and have a follow-up discussion. So again, please contact us and let's set up a follow-up call on that.
That's great. Thank you for the offer. We have further questions. SAP recommends architecture for having central launchpad service. Should we have a separate sub-account for it?
As far as I know, there is not a dedicated sub-account required for that. As I mentioned, the central or SAP Launchpad service, which is the central launchpad that runs on the Business Technology Platform, is the technical foundation for SAP Mobile Start. And again, as far as I know, there's no dedicated sub-account required. Please also here reach out to us if you run into any issues or questions with setting it up. There are how-to blogs, again, that describe clearly how this can be achieved, also on the community page. But again, please let us know if you're running into any questions. We're more than happy to jump on a call with you.
Awesome, thank you. Then is deep link supported? Like click on a native push notification and it will directly open the mobile start with that app?
We are supporting deep links as long as the underlying application supports deep links. An example here is SAP SuccessFactors. SAP SuccessFactors supports roughly 6 or 7 deep link options. And SAP Mobile Start, yes, is absolutely capable of using those deep links. So in reality, that looks that you have the tile in SAP Mobile Start that directly points you to that underlying deep link within the application, in this case, SuccessFactors. So that's supported, yes.
Okay, great. We still have 2 minutes. In case someone has a question, feel free. We still have 2 minutes. So with regards to the presentation, as I posted the link to the website for knowledge transfer for SAP user groups in the chat. That's where you will find the presentation of today, in case it should be of interest for you. And in the meantime, of course, should you have any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us. Happy to help you with any issues you should encounter. So we have another question. Do we have anything in the roadmap for automatic role assignment in BTP when federating content from an on-premise system?
That's something that is indeed on the roadmap. And ideally, we are planning to deliver an automated process already in Q3. So that's something that is planned for the nearer future.
So Rakesh, I hope this answers your question. Great. because just to tell you, Robert and Jean-Christophe, he mentioned that currently, of course, they do manual role assignments.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, currently that's manual assignment of the roles. And again, this is something that we will be utilizing as soon as that's available. And according to our information, it's planned to deliver that feature in Q3. And as soon as that's available, it can be used also for the roll-ins assignments for the Launchpad service.
Cool. So once again, Jean-Christophe and Robert, thank you so much for your presentation. And of course, to all our participants, I hope you got a lot of value from this session, because we are now on top of the hour very quickly. Currently, UI5 apps open in a web view. Can it be in Mobile Start?
It's already opened in place, actually. So the question was whether it can be opened in place, which is the case. So there's a seamless navigation between SAP Mobile Start and the native apps, but also the web application. So it opens in a browser, but it's an in-place opening of the web application. So it doesn't jump completely to the browser and disconnects you from SAP Mobile Start. You can jump back to SAP Mobile Start. So that's the case.
Okay, thank you so much, Robert.
Sure.
And with this, we are 1 minute over already. And again, a big thanks for everyone for joining. And we really hope you got a lot of value from this session. And Robert and Jean-Christophe, thank you so much for your excellent presentation and showing how to make the life easier of our users.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks a lot.
Hope to see you all soon again.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Take care.